Hi, my name is Jonathan, and this is a level 1 bowspring practice that focuses on the dig-drag technique. The dig-drag technique is useful to use the foot to engage the muscles on all sides of the legs, to lift the glute muscles in a mounded shape upwards, and to create an arch in the low back. Typically, when we lift a leg, the muscles that work are just the hip flexors. So that could be the psoas or the quadricep muscles. And the dig-drag action will actually engage the muscles on all sides of the legs. So it's recruiting the back muscles, the hamstrings, the calves, and the glutes to engage. It also creates a more purposeful practice. So when you lift your leg, it's meaningful. And if you do it over and over and over again, it can create quite a bit of heat in the body, and eventually, over the long run, strong, powerful legs and glutes that act as an engine for your daily life's activities like walking or jogging or running. The directionality of the dig-drag is the toes and the balls of your foot. So the balls of your foot are just where your toes connect to the foot. They go forward and down. And then the drag action is to pull the heels back and up. And in a way, when all of them are together, it's almost like a bicycle action. So there's a push forward and down, a pull back and up. So let's put it into practice. Please come stand in the middle of your mat. Separate your feet hip-width distance apart and reach your arms forward in front of you, earth pose position. And close your eyes, push your arms straight. With your arms straight, fill and broaden into your upper back. Make the primary purpose of every practice a radiant heart, a heart that's expansive and full, and a rib cage that is lifted and broad on all sides. Then, with your eyes closed, bring your attention to your toes. Press your toe pads down into the floor and press the mounds of your toes, just where the balls of your feet are, where the toes connect to the foot, down. As you do that, push your heels back, bend your knees forward. As you bend your knees forward, move your hips further back. Then open your eyes. To do the dig-drag action, it's difficult when both feet are touching the floor, and it's useful to isolate one foot at a time. So weight your right foot and lift your left heel just to hover. It doesn't have to be super high. It can be just a millimeter or two from the floor. And with your left heel hovering, push your toes forward and down. And notice as you push your toes forward and down, it helps to send your hips further back and create the shape in your low back. Then drag your foot, pull your heel back and lift it up, and feel a new light go on in the back of your legs. Your calf muscles and your hamstrings engage and tone, and the glute muscles start to lift up. Then lower your left heel, close your eyes, and compare the two sides, left and right. It's useful to pause in the middle of imbalance just to feel the difference. Now open your eyes, weight your left. Lift your right heel just to hover. Push your toes forward and down. Move your hips further back. Then drag your foot back, pull the heel back and up. So the dig-drag, push forward and down, pull the heel back and up. Get the leg strong and engaged. Lower your heel. Then without thinking of it, just lift your left leg in the air and notice which muscles dominate. So it tends to be the hip flexors. So trying it again, lower your left foot down, push your arms straight, feel into your upper back. Lift your left heel to hover, then dig your foot forward and down, move your hips back, then drag the foot back to lift the leg in the air. And notice how it's the entire sheath of muscles surrounding the leg engaged to make it lighter, to make the lift more dynamic. Then lower your foot down and switch sides. Weight your left, Lift your right heel. Just to hover, doesn't have to be very high. Push your foot forward, drag your foot back. Lift the leg in front of you. Press your knee forward. Even in the air, imagine you could do the push forward with your toes and the pull back of your heels. Then lower your foot down, go toes, balls of your foot, then heel. Re-weight your right foot, dig, drag the left. As you dig, drag, that's just a cue for lifting the foot, but doing so purposefully. From this one-legged standing position, step your left foot forward into a lunge position, bend both elbows, and come into globe hands position. Lower your front heel and move your hips back. Use the push of your feet forward to move the hips back, so the digging action, forward and down. Then pull your heels back. Notice as you pull your heels back, the glutes will lift up and the legs will engage stronger. As you press the fingers into each other, recruit your arms to engage as well and lift the rib cage high. And this is where the body can get warm quick, just through conscious engagement of muscles on all sides. Not overdoing it, finding uniform, even tone. Push back towards the right heel, then lift your left leg up and step it back. Toes, balls of your foot, heel. Weight your left, dig, drag the right to lift your leg in the air. Step your foot forward. Bend both knees forward. Dig your foot forward, move your hips back, both hips evenly.